Hello everyone, this is Kosher Bacon. Welcome back to Factorio. Yeah, look at this. We have forehead lasers. I'm sorry, that's loud. Like 7 or 8 of them. I've just been going around the upper continent, clearing it off camera. I built that wall, so... Here, let me show it. Yeah, I built this wall, secured this oil, that's good. And I've been clearing off this continent. This is probably the biggest hive I've come up against so far. I get the feeling it's going to be a bit tougher. But yeah, this is my current loadout. Notice I'm looking at this while I'm under attack by the biters. I literally do not care anymore. Yeah, forehead lasers. I guess whatever research I've done for laser damage stacks with these, because there's no way, or these are brokenly overpowered. So much so that I've taken off my robo ports and my night vision, and I apologize for that. Now we can't see this. Sure. But yeah, I'm very fast and I do a lot of damage. I'm a berserker, I guess, if we were doing typical D&D rolls. You know what, this is unacceptable. That's night vision. Yeah, much better. Because there's no penalty for installing and uninstalling modifications for the armor, I can just sort of do whatever. And yeah, I can just sort of calmly focus on, killing the small guys and hurting the nests and the worms and walk around a big nest cluster like this. Although this one might produce enough enemies to actually overwhelm me, especially if I'm losing one laser for this night vision. I'm curious, if I back off, is this enough? There's a lot of blue enemies getting kind of close to me. I feel like Vex in his Super Hostile Revisited series, when he got the, he was using the SHO loot files and whatnot for it, and one of the things they have in SHO Super Hostile Online are these classes, which were balanced around Vex mobs, which are much more dangerous than regular mobs because he wanted more control for balancing reasons, I guess. So the point is, at the end of the series, he was just sort of talking about monsters around him in terms of radiation. He'd be like, yeah, the monster level seems pretty high now because they would just throw themselves against him and they couldn't touch him because his armor was so good because it was meant for much more powerful monsters. And I kind of feel the same way over here. Yeah, this is some pretty high monster levels, I guess. Holy smokes, I got that? I guess that copper smelting did the trick. I was expecting that one to be a lot harder. So yeah, this is interesting actually. We've got a decent sized swarm, but we keep picking at the edges of it, so it doesn't really build up enough. If we cut through the middle over here, we risk taking more damage, but we're still faster than them, so I can just sort of go around them, hurt the worms, hurt the spawners, and the swarm shrinks. And at that point, that big cut through we did over there probably sealed the fate of these guys. We weren't even at a standstill before, I was just sort of wandering, meandering around, but yeah. That is a lot of dead worms and stuff. And if we look, that's the upper continent. It doesn't connect over here. I'm so happy. If it connected, I would have been like, no! But yeah, so, yeah, we don't need to bother with turrets on the future outposts or walls or anything. I should do it just as a matter of habit, because, pretend that we didn't have turrets on this, right? And then biters overwhelm this wall and they charge towards here. They could do a lot of damage to some mission critical stuff, but we don't need as many turrets, I feel. Because for biters to overwhelm this wall, I would have to be notified about it. It's only one laser turret, yeah, but they cover each other somewhat nicely, and biters are kind of stupid. I'll get forewarning if nothing else. So yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. And now we can just switch back to utility mode. So yeah, personal lasers, very powerful. I was considering more exoskeletons. I don't know. Anyways, that's cool. Let me get started with the episode proper now. Alrighty then. I've done a lot more stuff off camera, but I figured I'd show this one on camera. There's an achievement for setting 10,000 trees on fire. And we got this nice lovely forest over here, not really doing much for us. Wood just sort of doesn't have a use after the early game. Once you get the steel power poles going, there's no reason to use the wooden ones whatsoever. They can't even be used for fuel anymore. So you can't recycle them that way. Not that that's really recycling anyways. Plus, like, you know, coal exists, solid fuel exists, and it's a lot more useful, or at least it's indicated to you how much more useful it is given its presence in a science pack. So yeah, it's just, you know, do this. This is what trees are for now. And, you know, finding them in your base and running over them in your car until you get like 6 exoskeletons like I've got. Okay, no, I've got 4? Yeah, 4. I could have more if I wanted. But yeah, that about covers it. This probably creates an immense amount of pollution, but I gotta say, it's a lot of fun. You know, I've got all this flamethrower ammo I was making with no real use. So, you know, why not? If it wasn't for the engines, I would probably have enough to make the car. But whatevs. So I figure I'll just clear this forest off, and yeah, like, you can already see that's ticked up so quickly. We were at, what, 1.2 when we started, and I just found the giant forest. Like, that was before I started setting fire to this giant forest we've been walking by. So, you know, you just gotta go in here and set it on fire, and then just walk by and do it some more. And it's not even that hard, really. And we can even walk in the fire, it's so easy. So yep, there you go. Just find a couple big forests. Don't even really need to have them be that big, and just set them on fire. Super easy. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna go do that. My logistics bots are building tons of stuff for me. We're very close to getting that done. And yeah, I'm just sort of getting some miscellaneous things done. I want to make a push to get the rocket. Like, if you'll look, space science. Yeah, we can research that to make the satellite, which actually isn't so bad, looking at it. But the big thing, obviously, is going to be this, which actually we were starting to research, but our production science is low, and we're building something over there. So yeah, it's going to be a thing. I don't want to bum rush the end, but at the same time, I want to get another achievement that you get for beating the game without using a logistics system, and I think using a logistics system would make the game much easier. So maybe I do bum rush just one rocket, not even like the satellite, the space science yet, and then the next one I can do it with a logistics system and compare the difficulties, that type of stuff. Anyways, I'm just gonna go like set the world on fire for a bit until the achievement pops up. Be right back. Alright, getting close. Getting very close. 1,000 more trees and it's ours. I think I figured out why this is a bad thing. It's creating pollution, which I guess makes sense. That being said, yeah. Achievement. Hooray for us. Yeah, we don't need to track that anymore. Alright, I did a dumb. I'm a bad YouTuber. Just when I play this game, I get so into it, and I don't record, and I do so much. Alright, what's happened? Whole bunch of stuff. Big thing, we're doing a new smelting operation up there. So, hey train. I'm gonna be redoing a lot of the stuff I did, maybe even my entire base. So the big thing is, I've come up with a new smelting design. You know what, I'm doing this out of order. Let's just recap everything I've done. The next episode, I swear I'm not going to do any more stuff off camera. I'm just going to, like, start recording properly. So this is our current smelting setup. It's big, it's messy, and we didn't really plan too much ahead. Like, we did this, and then we were like, oh wait, we need iron and more steel, so we did that, and then we're like, oh, but now I need more copper. We didn't plan room for expansion or improvement, really. I was able to improve upon the design by adding in beacons, and then just using undergrounders to allow the beacons in. And then you can stick productivity modules in. It's 10% slower, but you get 8% productivity. You know, it's not too bad. We're going to hit mass production 2 pretty soon, which is a pretty nice milestone. 1 million green circuits produced, so I figured I'd record that. We've also got some science saved up, so you know what? Let's go ahead and research that rocket silo. I've already got some progress done, but it can't hurt to do more. Yeah, right now just progress is stalling because we made a very dumb mistake. We should have had 1 dedicated belt of iron, maybe even 2, and 1 dedicated belt of copper. I've never got this far in the game before, so yeah, I kind of blame myself, but we should, with this setup that we have here, with this main bus thing, we should be able to get 1 rocket launched, and then once we get that point going, I can start to use the logistics system, because I'm going for an achievement. A couple of them, actually. So I want to launch a rocket, doesn't need to have anything in it. I want to stick a fish in it so I can get this, and I want to use the logistics network embargo. So we just got to be very, very careful not to click on this, or that. So no logistics system until we launch the first rocket, then we can redo a whole bunch of this. So how do we get the productivity necessary to get the rockets going, right? Well, good news. We have tier 3 assemblers. That's kind of loud. So much so, in fact, that I've actually been like tweaking around with the ratios and optimizing them and stuff. So yeah, tier 3 assemblers I started automating. They're up over here. Right now I'm just manually feeding in the speed cards, but I can always feed them in down over here if I ever get the chance to. Where does this connect to even? Is this speed cards over here? I guess? What's this? This is solid fuel. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I see how that happened. That confused me for a second. Okay, that makes more sense at least. So yeah, this is where the speed cards would come in, but we have to like draw them out here. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about actually, so let's just keep going through that. Big thing is I have been like upgrading and trying to optimize the factory as best I can, and that unfortunately means there's a bunch of tiny minor changes that have just been done, like all these assembler 1s and our assembler 2s, because why the hell not? These are now all assembler 3s with full speed 1 modules in them because, you know, ugh. I'm thinking this was a mistake here, merging these onto these two into 1 belts, because like we need enough of these to go all the way down, even though this is a express belt. Like, this is a blue belt right here, and 2 reds are feeding into it. It's still not fast enough in some parts. Maybe. Honestly, the big thing is the green circuit production is kind of slow. Here, let's mix that together, try and increase our production a little. Or not production, but our rates a little. There's so many tiny things like that you can do to sort of tweak your rates. It's really cool. So yeah, I shut this one off, this gear producer, because there's no real reason for it just yet. It just sort of is. Yeah, I don't know. So the big thing is we've got about 3 red belts of stuff being compressed down to 2. Like, this is just all backed up, but we need more iron now. And if we look, like, the big thing is our trains are waiting way too long these days because you got so many of them running on just one north-south rail like this. And because we're using chain signals all the way through, it's pretty dumb, actually. This train here should follow behind, right? Or whichever train was waiting for that should follow behind it if we did it smart, but we're not doing it smart. Up over this way, I've started doing another solar field, because if we look over here, this solar field, we're starting to push really into, like, where we have our bus. So I'm going to leave that there, probably. I doubt I'm going to tear it up, but yeah, that's going to be there. I want to be careful about covering up resources, but at the end of the day, 5 million coal isn't going to be missed, and we've got plenty of uranium all over the place. Actually, not really. Like, this is our best supply of uranium right now. But it's not like the world isn't infinite, and we won't need that much space. Probably just going to tear these down at some point. So here, let's look at the map, because I did do the reminders. So, no logistics system, check. Second solar field, check. Express items, that's the express belts, belts, splitters, and undergrounders. I just put them up over here, ran the lubricant. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, it was actually kind of a fun little challenge having to like use 1 row for these 9 assemblers with the different items. I think I did all right though. Train troubles, just I've had so many troubles with these trains, you don't want to believe it. It's pretty sad. I doubled up our oil production, and I've got some tanks now to store the oil, because these things need to be constantly running, I think. Lubricant's fine. Petroleum's building to back up again, yeehaw. So the new bus area. Oh yeah, that's right. As you can probably tell, I did some landfill. I just extended this out, and I started to build over here. We're automating our beacons over here. So yeah. That's the new bus area. Speed upgrades. I think just me speed upgrading all this stuff, that type of stuff. Or maybe it's talking about the level 3 speed upgrades that I started putting. Sorry, I started auto-crafting over here. We have 9 of them just because I auto-inserted some of the red cards this thing needs. By the time this gets down here, there's no red cards. Just we are not producing enough red cards, which is a shame because this is our production rate right here. But whatever. So that's the Mark III cards. Again, kind of a fun little spaghetti thing. Like, we could do this with belts and inserters and stuff, or we could use the logistics system and then make it really compact and easy. And furthermore, if you keep your logistics network, like, properly done, like, you could really do something powerful with it. I don't know how to better explain it. Basically, it's very good for a high throughput, small area thing. So I think that's what I meant when I said speed upgrades. The iron 4x4 balancer. Not too much to say about that. I just copied a design I found online. This is a 4x4 balancer, more or less. I kind of tweaked the edge of it. And that will take all these inputs over here and balance them out and distribute them evenly. So now our iron furnaces are good. And you can see, yeah, I just started tweaking the design up over here before I sort of gave up with it. I think the speed beacons and the productivity modules and the furnaces is the most efficient route to go, really. But I could be wrong, though. Say, I'm noticing you can sort of compact these down a little bit more. Like, they don't have to be this spread out. I mean, they kind of do. Well, hold on. Maybe let's go play around with that for a minute. Do I have any beacons on me? No. But first things first, we're going to want some furnaces. And now that we no longer need them for the smelting area that I have over there, which I now have to migrate all my resources towards. Oh, hey, that's a good question. How's rocket silo research going? It's still going. Purple is starting to run out, which is obviously going to be a problem, but what can you do? It needs these cards, the productivity modules. Furnaces too, but at least that's just steel. So yeah, let's go grab some furnaces. It just needs red cards, really, is the thing. But hey, there's nothing for that. What do we need for the beacons? We need plastic. Ugh, that's so much microcrafting. What do we really need? We need green circuits and red circuits. Yoink. Okay. Now we need red circuits. I'm not even gonna bother yoinking it off the belt. Here, take the solid fuel off of me. And let's just grab some red circuits from here. Always good to have a chest of those by handy. Okay, now we can craft these things proper. If I really wanted to, I should probably just grab from over there. But I just want to play around with the design. So we have room over here. So let's look at my blueprints. Red card production, green card, smelting mark 4. Do I have a smaller smelting blueprint? I don't think I do. Let's just do a copy paste real quick then. I love copy paste so much. Okay, there we go. Once you unlock like personal roboports or just roboports in general and stuff, life gets a lot better, I think. We're just gonna, yeah. Okay, good. And let's give this some power. Okay, good. So this is more or less my smelting design right now. What is it? Right mouse button to delete item filter. Oh, I see. We have to hover over it specifically. Let's go craft a beacon and just get rid of that. It's so weird that beacons require, like, or rather that they want that. So this is my... No, that's not, because there's a space over there. Here, let's cut that. It wants to be a space further, like that. So this is our setup right now. I'm thinking we can make it more compact. Yeah, more compact. Words, genius. Use your words. Right now I'm just letting this stuff sort of pile up in AutoCraft. Right now it's actually working, the smelting. All the furnaces, inserters, and belts are in. We just want the beacons and stuff, but I can wait on that. Like, we can get that gradually. Like, right now I'm just letting the rocket silo research pile up, and honestly it looks like purple is going to be our big thing, but once we're done with that, that's it, really. We're very close to the end game, surprisingly. I don't know how we got here. Like, it's been bumbling along this whole time. Or me bumbling along. Okay, so what can we do to improve this design? Well, I noticed that we have room over here and over here, so let's go ahead and just cut this out, and I realize that A lot of people probably weren't expecting me to like go ahead and go through the effort of building that when I can just do this. So now, what happens if I, like, can I tessellate this pattern? Because this is a much more compact setup than the one we just spent a long time making. Here, let's Control X this. Literally, I'm so happy we have this now. That's the one annoying thing. I want to use like my personal roboports here, just for the sake of wanting to. And I can't because this is being silly. So now then if I Control V, and I go to this, do these connect? I would almost need, like, this to not be in the way. Here, can I go request some of these? There we go. And then we can go ahead and... Well, no, that's only a 9 area. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's not going to work. Forget that. Well, no, let's just roll with it, okay? So the idea being there would be another space, then another 2. We would have them in nests of 2. That does connect, okay. And then we would have a beacon over there? The effect kind of overlaps, but that's kind of good, isn't it? Because this hits 6, this hits 8, so this can hit 8. So now each beacon can hit 8 furnaces. Just extend that over there. Grab some undergrounders, like that. 1, 2. And then we could extend that even further. And that's a better design, I think. Right? It looks good. Now, how to make this a proper tessellating pattern is the real question. I'm half wondering if maybe we do like a half-sized thing like this. So then you copy it over there, then you go up and you copy it to over there? No. Copy it to over there? That is the appropriate spot right there. So maybe instead do it like that. Then the thing you would copy would be this? Question mark? And then again, you copy that and just paste it all the way up. Okay, let's deconstruct all these. No, give me that, give me that, give me that. You can have the rest, I don't care about those. Here, I'll break them myself just because I'm lazy. So, this is the pattern we want to go with, where it goes like that. Control Z is awesome. Like, the fact that that exists in this game is the best. And boom, nice repeating pattern. Easy enough to tile. Any downsides that I can think of other than the annoying bit at the top? Like, you could even, like, copy it proper. Like this. And go all the way up with it, right? Yeah, because you can just... Yeah, you can make a bigger copy, even, if you wanted to. And then the annoying bit is honestly just tessellating it. Because you are going to have to do some editing at this point and this point over here. Kind of. Not a whole lot, though. So you know this whole giant field up over here? Yeah, that all has to go now, because we found a much more compact design. So here, if we do Control V, and this is our design, and we go B, then we're going to go ahead and... Here, actually, we're going to go E, pop that over there, because this is actually just Control C, Control V, whatever, is just for the sake of... Go ahead, give me that back. That's all just, what are we gonna call this? Beacon smelting MK2. And should we add a beacon to it or no? Save that. Anything I don't want to save here? No, that about does it. So let me go ahead and add this to... Open this up. Add that over there. And yeah, this we can just delete. And this we can just delete. Like, this is my endgame books at this point. To the point where I don't think I should have this, but whatever. Yeah, no reason for mining Mark 1 anymore. Laser outpost, don't care too much. 4x4 balancer I'm keeping because I can't make those off the top of my head. Alright, very cool. Good to know. So now, I just gotta take... Man, that's a lot of stuff. I'm thinking I can be smart about this, though. If we look, here, let's go map. The only way the logistics system connects to our main logistics is through this and this. So we break one of those off, and then we just deconstruction plan that whole thing and rebuild it with our compact design. Because the current design is kind of trash. Holy smokes, this is filling up fast. 5 chests with a landfill is actually pretty impressive when I think about it. Like, we could do a fair bit over there. So yeah, this was the old design. This design only gives us 4 smelters per... No, cut that out, you. Here. Disable Roboport just for a minute. So yeah, this is the current design. It's kind of meh. Like, I mean, it's alright, but these beacons will only cover so much. So, like, we just essentially doubled the amount the beacons cover, and some of the beacons, most of them actually overlap, which is great. So yeah, I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and disassemble all this. Is there anything else I want to do before I cut and do that? No, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the science, because I'm pretty sure purple science is stalling us. Yeah, definitely regretting how I did my science. Yep, okay. Cancel this for a bit, and we'll finish that back up when purple science builds back up again. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.